My name is Carissa Casper and I work in digital customer experience for West Coast Seeds, and I'm the founder of Seed and Nourish, where I help create kitchen gardens across the Lower Mainland. Today, I'm here to talk to you about growing brassicas in the winter garden. The Brassica family contains the highest number of food-bearing plants in all of the plant families. These include such vegetables as Brussels sprouts, cabbage, kale, collards, cauliflower, and broccoli, all of which share the same quality of being very cold tolerant. Some of the most cold tolerant varieties from this family, such as sprouting broccoli or kale, can withstand temperatures down to minus 19 degrees Celsius. With crop protection, most of the plants in this family can be grown even in cold climates, if protected by something like a cold frame or a cloche. One of the most common challenges that people encounter when trying to grow brassicas is their tendency to bolt before producing a head, especially for things like broccoli, cauliflower, or cabbage. What bolting means is that the plant will shoot up a stem, go to flower, and set seed rather than producing the crop that we're growing the plant for. To avoid bolting, timing is your friend. Brassicas prefer to be grown in the more moderate temperatures and wet conditions of spring and fall. Once the hot temperatures of summer hit, bolting is much more likely to happen. The timing for best success is to plant in early spring once temperatures are reliably above 10 degrees Celsius, with a days to maturity time to produce the crop at the end of spring, early summer. Or, my favorite option is to take advantage of the cold tolerance of this plant family and plant in the middle of summer and timing to produce the crop at the fall or to overwinter and produce the crop in early spring. Although the term winter garden makes us think of sowing in the snow, in fact, we need to be starting our brassicas for the winter garden at the end of spring, indoors, transplanting them outdoors in the middle of summer to mature either in the fall or overwinter and produce in the early spring. To get the timing right, brassicas can be sown indoors under lights. You can plant 2 to 3 seeds per cell, water them in, and wait 7 to 10 days for the seeds to germinate. Once they've come up and put on their first true leaves, you can thin down to 1 seedling per cell. Once seedlings have 6 to 8 true leaves, they're ready to be transplanted outdoors. Or you can pot them up from the cell to a 4-inch pot to grow to a larger size, and wait until you've made room in your garden for transplanting by harvesting some of your spring and summer crops. To transplant into your garden, dig holes 2 to 4 feet apart and the depth of the size of the pot that you're transplanting. In the bottom of the transplant hole, you can add a handful of complete organic fertilizer like Gaia 444, top it off with a handful of compost, and then you're ready to put your seedling into the planting hole. You can grasp your seedling with one hand at the base of the seedling, with the other hand at the base of the pot, and gently squeeze the seedling out until it releases. Place the seedling into the planting hole, gently firm it down, and bring a little bit of the soil onto the surface. Another challenge you might encounter in the garden while growing brassicas is the presence of cabbage worms. You can identify their presence in your garden when you see big jagged holes in the leaves or stripped down leaves entirely, or you might even see little balls of black worm poop. The best way to protect your brassicas from the cabbage moth is to prevent their access in the first place. You can do this by utilizing crop protection such as lightweight row cover or a fine meshed cloche like an upside down wastebasket. As the plants have matured, You can get ready to harvest once a crown has formed in the case of broccoli or cauliflower, but the individual florets have not yet begun to separate and loosen. Cutting the crown off the stem with a knife and leaving the plant in place can encourage the formation of side shoots, so you might get a second, third, or fourth harvest. For head-bearing plants like cabbage or Brussels sprouts, doing a squeeze check on the head to see if it's firm is going to tell you whether it's ready to harvest. For plants like kale and collards, you can harvest often and continuously for best success. All you need to do is snap off the bottom leaves right down to the stem, making sure that you're leaving at least 3 to 4 leaves in the center for regrowth. These plants are going to go all through the season, even the summer, so they're a really good brassica to try if you haven't grown this beautiful plant family before. Thanks for joining me at West Coast Seeds as we learn to grow brassicas in the winter garden. If you'd like to learn more with us, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and tune in for the next episode.